Howdy, folks. Today we are going to take a look at the Harley Benton CLA 16S. Stick around. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Would certainly appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that stuff. It would help me out a lot, and I sure would appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, we are going to take a look at the Harley Benton CLA 16S, which I have right here. It's taken me a while to get around to doing, I guess you can call this a review on the guitar. But I'm finally doing it. It's kind of a rainy day outside. Perfect time to do this. So let's get started. And first, let me go over a few of the, well, no. First, let me get something out of the way right off the bat. I am by no means an expert on acoustic guitars. I have a couple of them, but I don't really spend a whole lot of time playing them up until I got this guitar. I've got a Breedlove that actually, shamefully enough, spends way too much time in its case. I love my electric guitars, but so I'm not really an expert on acoustic guitars. I just know, if a guitar sounds good, if it plays well. So there is that. Anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and go through some of the specs on this. I'll just point out the things that caught my eye when I was searching on the Thomann website when I was looking for which of their acoustics I wanted to get. And one of the first things that caught my eye about this guitar was that it has a solid Sitka spruce top. Usually with the budget guitars, they're, or at least in my experience, I could be wrong, but mostly it's plywood. It's not really solid wood, not the best of woods, and I can't particularly say that this particular little piece of Sitka spruce is prime, but it is a solid piece of wood. The website doesn't say anything about the sides and the back, which actually is kind of a pretty back if you take a look at it, two-piece. But it is mahogany, but it doesn't say whether or not it is solid, so I don't really know. The other thing that caught my eye was the bone saddle and bone nut. And usually on a budget guitar, you should expect plastic. So it kind of caught my eye that the saddle and nut were both bone, and that intrigued me. So then the other thing, dovetail construction. It's not bolt-on or anything. And aside from that, X-bracing, which I don't know. Now, I have a brother who builds guitars, and he knows a whole lot more about this stuff than I do. He learned from the best. But as for myself, the guitar sounds good, whether it's the bracing or not. Now, I will say that looking inside, and I don't have any footage. I would include it if I did, and I may actually shoot some at a later point once I get these strings off of here, where I can really get the phone down in there and take take shots. But I did just kind of notice that some of the bracing material on the inside is a little rough. It's not like they wanted to make it pretty or anything, but it is all well adhered, and there's no buzzing from any of the bracing. So seems like they did a good job on that. Let's see. The tuners are nothing to write home about. They're, I think they list them DLX die cast tuners. Um, Nothing to write home about. However, I will say they do keep the guitar in tune, and when it comes to tuning the guitar, they do their job. They're not they're not extra special or anything, but they do their job. So nothing to complain about there. That said, like I did point out, it's a two-piece back. There is a strip of what appears to be the same material that they use for the binding. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's pretty. It is a what do you call a satin finish? It's not glossy. Eh, you know, a lot less time spent cleaning off fingerprints and stuff. I used to love really shiny, glossy guitars and everything, but I don't know. Like I said, you end up spending a whole lot of time wiping off fingerprints. So this one stays looking pretty good. No complaints. So what do I think about this guitar? I got it a few weeks ago, along with 3 Harley Benton electric guitars. And I have to say, for somebody who never really spends a whole lot of time playing an acoustic guitar, I've been spending a lot of time playing an acoustic guitar because this little thing is kind of fun. Uh, and I should mention, it is amazingly affordable. Uh, for the price, which at the time I ordered it, there, here in the States, you got the exchange rate with the euro and all that, because it is coming from Germany. And at the time I bought it, it was just a little less than $150. I think 148 somewhere, 147, something like that. Now I notice on the website it's just a little over 150. So I think all that really just comes down to the exchange rate. It's still, for that kind of price, solid Sitka spruce top, bone nut and saddle. And it sounds, it's a small body guitar. They say, let's see what, it is an Auditorium Triple O 14. Now, it's the CLA 16S, but it's a Triple O 14. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. However, that's what they list it as far as its body. Triple O Auditorium Triple O 14. Oh, and I should mention the neck is mahogany as well. It has a fretboard. Okay, I'm gonna try Ovencall, Ovencall. Ovancall, Oven. It's kind of like a variation of rosewood. It looks like rosewood. It's an attractive fretboard. The fretwork. This was my biggest surprise with this guitar. I expected kind of sharp fret ends, fret sprout, especially coming from Germany all the way to South Florida. Huge environmental changes. I expected a lot of you know, things I would have to pay attention to and deal with. However, I got to tell you, when they built this guitar, and I'm assuming they're all done this way, it's on a, you know, it's in their production guitars, but somebody took their time dressing these frets. They really did. They did a fantastic job dressing the frets. The fret ends are perfect. And even looking at them up close, and I wish I had a good lens for getting really tight end shots. If I can get something, I'll insert it long about now to show you. But they did a really good job on these frets. So what can I say? It's not what I expected. And it's a happy surprise. So in the end, it's a small body guitar. It's not very thick. It's not a huge inner cavity there. You don't expect to get a huge sound out of it, but it sounds pretty good. Now, that said, what's my bottom line on this guitar? I'm trying to think real quick. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? The neck, by the way, you have three pieces here on the heel. You have here, and then up to here, scarf joint, and then the headstock. And I will say that I did notice right where the scarf joint is, you can just barely feel it. There's a little, I don't want to call it a divot, but a little valley there. So, man, if that bothers you, it hasn't bothered me one little bit, but I did notice that. Another thing, and this probably has more to do with the guitar acclimating itself to its new environment. But even out of the box, when I first opened it, the action was a little bit high. So I don't know. Once I've just about, another thing I should point out, probably kind of unfair to the guitar at this point, because it has been a few weeks. I should have done this demo a long time ago, but I didn't, and I've been playing the crap out of this guitar. The strings are kind of dead. It needs a new set of strings. So, but these are the strings that came on it. I wanted to do the demo as it came out of the box. So I'll do a follow-up once I put my preferred strings on it, and do just a couple of things to it. I do want to do a neck adjustment. It certainly needs that. I'm probably going to shave a little off the bridge, bring the action down a bit, because it's a little too high for my liking, and I'm not even a huge super low action kind of guy, but it is a little high for my taste. Other than that, though, there's not a whole lot I would change about this guitar. If I really got, I don't know, bored and wanted to put better tuners on it, I might end up doing that. But then again, is there really a point in, doing that on a guitar that's only a $150 guitar? So I don't know if that's really necessary. I can tell you it's fun to play. It's exactly what I wanted when I ordered it. because I just wanted a little bang around guitar that I can have sitting at the ready, and whenever I just wanted to pick it up and start strumming and doing whatever, have fun with it, not worry about it if I bang it into something. I already have. I've gotten a little place there where I hit it on something. Um, but that's kind of why I wanted the guitar. So bottom line, I've got to say, if you're a beginner, if you're just starting out on your guitar journey and you're just starting to learn, number one, grumpy advice, number one, learn on an acoustic guitar. And the reason I say that is, number one, when you're first starting to play, your fingertips are just little raw, just soft, just waiting for pain. You know, you've got no calluses. The best way to build those calluses is not with an electric guitar. It's with an acoustic guitar. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to build calluses. You're going to build the muscle and motor control in your fingers too. I highly recommend that you start your guitar journey with an acoustic guitar. I didn't, and it was a mistake. Of course, I just sort of accidentally learned how to play guitar, so it doesn't really count, right? Anyway, and some would say I still don't know how to play a guitar, and I might tend to agree with them. But nevertheless, if you're a beginner, start with an acoustic guitar, and for $150-ish, I would highly recommend. It's a fun guitar to play. It sounds good. It has good tone. And I wish with the playing demo at the beginning there, I wish it sounded better. But of all the things I have little or no experience with, miking up acoustic guitars is certainly on that list. So I did the best I could. I hope it sounded okay. Nevertheless, this is a nice sounding guitar. It's a great guitar for a beginner. Now, if you're not a beginner, if you're intermediate, or if you're even advanced, if you want to have a guitar that you can just have lying around to pick up when the muse hits you, $150, 150-ish bucks. It's worth the money. I did not expect to be as impressed with this guitar as I am. I've played a bunch of cheap acoustics in Guitar Center, you know, and actually, when I say cheap acoustics, guitars that I've played that cost more than this one, I wouldn't spend the money on. I would probably, even knowing what this plays like, I would have probably even paid a little bit more than the price tag that they were charging. I'm super impressed with what Harley Benton has done here, and I swear to you, I did not expect to be this impressed, but I almost wish that I wasn't, because I sound I sound like I'm doing a commercial for them, don't I? Except I'm not getting paid. They don't know who I am. I bought this with my own money. So I'm telling you the truth. It's actually a fun little guitar. It's not, you're never going to mistake it for your Martin or your Taylor or whatever. But for the money, I have to say, yeah, I'm not at all disappointed that I chose this guitar. And in the future, I might even consider looking at some of Harley Benton's higher end guitars. And when I say higher end, I'm not sure. I don't think any of them. I could be wrong on this, but I think around 500 or around there is basically the range. So you compare that to your Martin D28 or whatever. Is it a value? Is it not a value? I think for the 150-ish that I spent on this, I think it's a value. So I will leave it at that. I appreciate you sticking around and watching this. And I've got 3 Harley Benton electric guitars still to review. And that's going to be coming up pretty soon. I've been spending a little time trying to make some adjustments in how I'm doing things here. And hopefully I'm getting all that worked out. We'll see how this video turns out. Anyway, that said, again, please like, subscribe, share, comment, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Oh, thanks for watching. Y'all be good. Just be good.